Hello there, my name is Wafflestheasianyenbear, and welcome back to Meet the Squad, the series where we generate one random Pokemon on randompokemon.com, build a team around it, and then use that team for the rest of the week's battles. So, we're gonna go ahead, we're just gonna jump into it, and hopefully we get something cool. We get Scrafty, Hoodlum Scrafty. Alright, so, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put a cut, and we will come back with hopefully a fun and fantastic team. So, see you then, and you will go ahead and meet the squad. Damn it, I didn't segue that well. Okay guys, I am back with our team, and oh my gosh, what a team. I love it so very much. But we've got Forgot My Belt, the Scrafty, who always has to pull his pants up. We've got Asuna, the Doublade, because it has two swords, and yeah, I totally should have named it Kirito, but I have an Asuna Doublade actually in my games that I got from Wonder Trade, and I treasure it. I treasure it dearly. So, we have this Asuna, our Doublade right there. Then we have Chai, the Roserade, because it looks like something I would probably use in Chai Tea. Unagi-san, the Electros, because we always name our Electros as that. Mr. Spikes, the Cloyster, because I had no idea what to name it. I mean, I had one idea of what to name it, but it wasn't going to be appropriate. So, Mr. Spikes it is. And we have Trunks, the Dawn fan, leftovers 30. So, if you guys wanted to just meet the squad, there you go. That is going to be the team that we use for the rest of this week. But, if you guys want to know why I built the things I did, why the Pokemon are there, what moves they have, and all of that good stuff, stick around because we're going to get into that right now. I almost spoke a little bit too fast there, and it sounded like all of my words just jumbled into like one mega word. But, first things first, I was looking at Scrafty and I wanted to make it the win condition, and there's a bunch of different ways you can play Scrafty. You can play it Bulk Up, you can play it Dragon Dance, you can have Shed Skin with Rest and Sleep Talk, you can have Intimidate, you can have Moxie, Scarf, and my first thought was, okay, I'm going to throw a Scarf on it and I'm going to make it Moxie. And then my second thought with that was, well, we kind of just did that last week with Crocodile, so for the sake of being different, we're going to have Intimidate and Dragon Dance. And the point of this Scrafty is going to be to come in on something that really, on a physical threat that can't really do much to me anyways. Well, I guess you wouldn't call it a threat then. A physical Pokemon that couldn't really do that much to me anyways. Get it to -1 and force it to switch out. Or take a hit from it and not really take any damage, because again, it's something that won't do very much to me. But point is, get a turn in where you're not gonna die, click Dragon Dance, and then try to outspeed the rest of the team and kill with Drain Punch, Knockoff, and Poison Jab, which is why we went with Intimidate instead of Moxie. I know it seems a little bit weird, but I think Intimidate works out a little bit better for what I'm trying to do here. But yeah, Drain Punch, Knockoff is Stab, Poison Jab mainly to hit Gardevoir and other fairies. It seems like Gardevoir is really the biggest issue here, and I could run Iron Tail, but I don't really want to risk that 25% chance to miss, so we're just going to be rocking out with that. We're Adamant Nature, because I figure with the Dragon Dance, we're probably doing enough anyways, or outspeeding enough stuff anyways, especially in the RU and below tiers. But with Scrafty and with trying to make that the win condition, fairies are the biggest thing that stand out to me. Fairies, you've also got like flying and fighting types, but mainly fairies. So I need to make sure I had something that could really come in on fairies, as well as also take some fighting hits, and that is Asuna. Asuna can just come in. It's freaking amazing with the Eviolite. It's so good. It can come in on fighting type hits. It can come in on pretty much any fairy type hit. Shadow Sneak is going to scare out your Gardevoirs. Gyro Ball does a huge amount. Sacred Sword, really great. I can still hit the steel types that might give Forgot My Belt some issues like Escavalier. But I put Sword Stance on Asuna really not to make it a win condition, but to make it something that can apply pressure mid-game. If I happen to see a situation where I think my opponent's going to switch out on the Asuna, and I have kind of a free turn, I can go for Sword Stance, and then I can proceed to put my opponent into a situation where they will feel a little bit more pressured and have to make some switches that they might not have wanted to do before. So, the Sword Stance there is really just a tool to apply pressure. Eviolite obviously makes sense. You want to double your defenses and your HP and all that good stuff. Does it only do defenses? It does only do defenses. Scratch that. You want to be able to double your defenses. So, Asuna can take a ton of hits on the physical side. Really great. Dealing with your flying types because you resist it. You can deal with the fighting types because you're immune. Fairies are not going to do anything to you. And then as far as what else would really cause them issues? I mean that's really the big things there, and Asuna pairs very well with the Scrafty for that reason. But then we also have Chai as a secondary answer to fairies, because again, fairies are just a huge issue to Scrafty. It's 4 times weak to it. Pretty much any fairy hit, if it outspeeds me, is going to kill me with Forgot My Belt. So I have to make sure I have precautions set in place. So if Asuna dies, I've got Chai, the Roserade, with Assault Vest, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, Dazzling Gleam, Hidden Power Fire, and Natural Cure. Now, I kind of thought maybe I should go Technician, just to go with like the Hidden Power Fire, get that boost there and all of that good stuff, but I figured I'd go with the Natural Cure instead, at least give me something to absorb status on the off chance I face like a stall team or something like that. But really, my matchup versus stall is pretty decent because of my setup sweepers, but I figured it would be nice to have something that can absorb status, especially if, like, with Forgot My Belt and Mr. Spikes, which we'll talk about a little bit later, I don't want to get burned, so I can switch into Roserade, take the burn, and then switch out. So, Roserade's really just here to hit kind of hard. I'm running HP investment instead of speed investment. It's really to make it more of a bulky on the special side Roserade and a pseudo special wall. It's not really a special wall, it's just there to, like, sponge a few special hits, but really, realistically, that's sort of the point, and that's why I don't have speed investment, is because I figure I need something to sponge the special hits, so I'll sacrifice being able to outspeed some things for being able to take more hits. So, that's Chai in a nutshell. Hidden Power Fire is there for Scavalier and for really steel types in general, because, yeah, we've got some fighting stab, but for those steel types that really don't care that much about the fighting stab, like Steelix, having Hidden Power Fire is a little bit better. Giga Drain, I guess Giga Drain hits Steelix, but you guys know what I mean. I'm gonna pull one up. I am gonna pull one up, because I am blanking on it now. I'm blanking on it. Oh goodness, but Hidden Power Fire is nice. It does hit like those grass types as well, which Sludge Bomb, yes it does, but if it's like a grass ghost type like this Delmise over here, having Hidden Power Fire does hit Delmise, does hit Dugtrio, hits Durant, which Durant is a bit of a threat to this team, because X-Scissor plus whatever else it carries usually hurts most of my team. So having Chai with a Hidden Power Fire just gives me another little answer to it. Not perfect, but it does help a little bit if I predict that switch. And I figure, since there's not a whole lot of other moves I want to carry, maybe extra sensory, I might as well just tack on Hidden Power Fire. But Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb is going to be our stab, Sludge Bomb to hit the fairies, Giga Drain to just have a nice powerful grass move there, hit the water types, and Dazzling Gleam is to hit those fighting types like Scrafty and things like that. So, that just helps with our matchup there. And then we got Unagi-san the Electros, who's pretty darn standard. Giga Drain, Flamethrower, Volt Switch, Hidden Power, Ice. This most likely will be my lead in almost every scenario. I'm going to be rocking the Volt Switch so I can just switch out on a bad matchup. Flamethrower hits those 4 times weak Pokemon. Giga Drain hits Rhydon and those other ground types that might want to come in and lead. And Hidden Power Ice is there for, I believe, Flygon, because I can levitate above the ground type hit, and then as long as it hasn't set up too bad, I can hit it with an HP Ice. Because ultimately, yeah, I've got Mr. Spikes, so I do have a decent matchup against Flygon, but Mr. Spikes, as you can see with the Focus Sash, I don't want to be switching in Mr. Spikes a lot. So, having the Hidden Power Ice on Unagi-san just gives me a little extra something there. But, then we have Mr. Spikes. And the reason we have Mr. Spikes is, yes, we have Unagi-san, but other than that, my flying type matchup isn't great. I can resist it with Asuna, I can do a decent chunk with Unagi-san, but Unagi-san isn't extremely powerful. So I figured, hey, why don't I go ahead and tack on an Ice type? Let me go through the tier and let me grab the best Ice type, in my opinion, out of RU. Something that, after it gets a Shell Smash, can sweep up a lot of teams. So this gives me a secondary win condition. It helps me deal with the flying types as well as the dragon types, because I did have really only Chai for that. And if it was like Gudra, Dazzling Gleam is not really doing that much anyway. So Icicle Spear can come in and kill it for the most part. So, the reason I have Focus Sash and not White Herb is what you're going to see is because I wanted to make sure I had Hazard Removal on Trunks. As you see, I have Rapid Spin. So, point being, most likely I will not be switching in Cloyster to Rocks. If I do, oh well, in that situation, if a White Herb I don't think would really help me for the most part. White Herb is nice, but Focus Sash I think does what I need a little bit better. So, Shell Smash, Icicle Spear, Rock Blast, Ice Shard, pretty standard. Shell Smash to get set up, Icicle Spear to do 5 hits with Skill Link because it always hits for the maximum amount of times. So Icicle Spear times 25 plus Stab. Rock Blast, same thing as long as I hit, but it does have a 10% chance to miss. But that gives me also 5 different times to crit. So that does also help for taking down other threats. And then Ice Shard is just for priority against other Pokemon that might try to kill you with priority. Because a lot of times with Cloyster, you're going to end up being at 1 HP because of the Focus Sash and then sweeping up. So having the Ice Shard allows you to out-prioritize other priority. So, finally, we've got Trunks here, Leftovers 30, Stealth Rocks, Earthquake, Stone Edge, and Rapid Spin. And it honestly pains me a little bit to run this set because it's just so boring. Trunks, Donphan, he's capable of so much stuff, guys. I just want you to look at this. Donphan gets Gunk Shot, it gets Head Smash, it gets Heavy Slam, Ice Shard, Knockoff, Play Rough, Poison Jab, Seed Bomb, Superpower, even Brutal Swing. Donphan has crazy good coverage, but unfortunately, I have no rock coverage. So being able to get Stealth Rocks up with Donphan, if I so choose, I probably won't for the most part, but having the option is nice. Earthquake, I do really need Ground Stab because I don't have any Ground Stab at all. Stone Edge, I need to be able to hit with a rock move against those fire types because ultimately my matchup against fire types is not great. With at least the first few Pokemon, Donphan I feel like corrects that. So being able to hit for the Stone Edge on things like a Charizard, stuff that are in the air, is really important. And then I need the Rapid Spin so that Mr. Spikes can keep its Focus Sash up. Ultimately, I'm going to probably alternate between Forgot My Belt and Mr. Spikes as win conditions, just because I like having that flexibility in my teams. As you guys know with the Butterfree team, I like having flexibility in how I build my win conditions, and that's also one of the reasons why I had some issues with the Milotic team last week, was because we really only had the Crocodile there. So, that being said, that is why we have to run it as standard as we do here. Leftovers so that if I switch it in, it can restore and get sturdy back up if I have to switch it into rocks. So, that being said though, there's the team. That's why I picked everything I did. Hopefully it made sense the way I explained it. Sometimes I know I can mess up my wording in some scenarios. So if it is confusing at all, go ahead, leave a comment, let me know. I'll be happy to clarify anything. But that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this and I hope you have a good day, good week, good life. And I will see you on Wednesday for our first battle. Goodbye!